จะได้มาดูนี่ไปแล้ว
Levideózom, csak már be kell raknom a másik kártyát, mert már... Akkor ezután megyünk egy bő rotorulára, igaz? De jó, ott vannak fönn a izék. Ott vannak fönn a lakások. Itt is van egy kicsi. Csak itt is van egy kis manó. Ezt látnak be.
So I've seen the Hobbiton.
Hol vagytok? Szilvi, ti hova tűntetek?
While you're here, guys, while you're trying to get a few photos, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the area we're in.
Na, gyere vissza.
So,
Gyere.
what I've noticed as we came down this path, the two hobbit holes we've actually got here are both very different in size. We've got a scale that we try to keep to. This blue door here, that's about 30% to scale, and the yellow door behind many of you is actually 60% to scale. And that is because Peter Jackson had to overcome a massive problem, which is trying to make the likes of Gandalf, the wizard, looking very tall, and the hobbits looking very small. Thus, if you take a very tall person, i.e. myself, and stand in front of this door, I actually look like I'm very tall. But if I was to go and stand by a door that was maybe that size or even a bit bigger, and put those two images together, I would actually look a lot smaller. And that is something they call forced perspective. So it's given a trick of the eye almost, making things out look smaller than they actually are. And there's many more examples of that as we go around. We've got 44 different hobbit holes for you all to have a look at today. All of them very different, all of them very unique. And if you all behave yourselves, I will actually take you into one later on where you can have a look around and see for yourself what they're like to live in. Another example of forced perspective is actually the path you've actually taken. Now, as I said to begin with, this is the path that Frodo and Gandalf took on the horse and cart. But if you look at that path, you'll soon realise that you would never ever get a horse and cart down there. Now, we had a lot of animals here for the filming, and we also had a lot of stunt doubles. And Gandalf's horse actually had a stunt double that was an Icelandic pony. And instead of having a horse and cart, we actually had an Icelandic pony, a little child's cart riding down behind. And then that scene was actually filmed in two parts. So we had Ian McKellen come down first, he said all his lines, and then they took the same shot again with Elijah Wood, Frodo, sat 3 metres further back on that cart to make himself look a lot smaller. They put those two parts together, just giving us the scene that we've actually got in the film. And there's many different examples of that around the set today. I'll try and point them out as we go along. But yeah, it's very, very interesting how they actually went about it. It wasn't just the camera crew that had difficulties trying to make sure everyone looked right. The arts department had their work cut out, trying to make this set look like it should be indeed Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit era. Now, as Rebecca told you, this set is actually very new. The original set for Lord of the Rings was very short term. It all got taken down, and then when we came back to do the Hobbit, they put all this set back together again and made it in very more permanent materials. It's only about 2.5 years old, but if you look at it, it actually looks a lot older. And there's a few tricks that the arts department actually learnt along the way, just to try and make it look more rustic and more realistic for the film. And one example of that is a lot of the timber that we've actually got around here today. All of the signs, all of the fence, and a lot of the structural parts of the hobbit holes, that was all actually painted in just your standard